Hello once again, dear viewers. You're watching ERi-TV. Welcome to our news broadcast. Here are the headlines. President Eritrea participates at Saudi Arabia-Africa Summit. Seminar on curbing diseases transmitted from animals to humans. Russia's October oil and gas revenue set for a big jump. Pollution forces citywide closure of businesses and schools in Pakistan. In our domestic news, President Eritrea has participated at the Saudi Arabia-Africa Summit that convened today, 10 November, in Riyadh under the theme Productive Partnership. The objective of the first summit of its kind, in which a number of leaders and country representatives from African countries took part, was to develop a strategic partnership between African countries and Saudi Arabia in the economic, investment, trade, politics, security, and cultural sectors, among others. President Eritrea departed to Saudi Arabia in the morning hours yesterday, 9 November, to participate at the summit. The presidential delegation included Mr. Osman Saleh, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Hagos Gabrihiwet, Head of Economic Affairs of the PFDJ, Mr. Nasruddin Mohammed Saleh, Minister of Trade and Industry, Ambassador Isa Ahmed Isa, as well as Ambassador of Saudi Arabia in Eritrea. The Livestock Resources Branch in Gash Barka region organized a seminar in Aghardet subzone on controlling diseases that can be transmitted from animals to humans. The seminar, in which representatives of the line ministries, associations and owners of social service providers, as well as agricultural experts and representatives of farmers, attended. Mr. Waldemariam Debrecen, the representative of Livestock Resource, indicated that livestock development is directly related with human lives. Mr. Samuel Kafletzian, head of livestock protection in the subzone, on his part, gave briefing to the public in great detail on the types of diseases that humans can get from animals and urged them to become more involved in fight against them. Mr. Samuel also urged the attendees to share the knowledge they have learned with local residents and stressed the seminar's significance in raising public awareness. Speaking at the occasion, Mr. Yimane Mahati, acting administrator of the subzone, explained the significance of the seminar in developing the understanding of the public. Attendees also called for similar seminars to be held across the subzone's administrative regions. Mr. Barakat Tadese, head of Human Resources Development in the Central Region Administration, said that the training programs that are being organized in the region have significant contribution in developing timely and efficient administrative services to the public. Mr. Barakat went on to say that so far vocational training has been provided to 571 staff members, including 219 women, on administration and leadership, time management, leadership and ethics, appropriate administrative services, communications, financial and material management, as well as procurement. According to Mr. Barakat, the vocational training were provided on cooperation with the Ministry of Finance and National Development and Eritrea's Center for Organizational Excellence. That was our domestic news. Please stay tuned now for the international news right after the short break. Russia's oil and gas revenue, which account for around a third of the federal budget, are set to rise to around 1.85 trillion rubles, equivalent to $18.5 billion in October, up to 2.5 times from 0.74 trillion rubles in September. The corresponding figure in October 2022 was 1.28 trillion rubles. October figures will receive a boost of 0.68 trillion rubles from a profit-based tax on oil production in the third quarter, according to the calculations. They will also benefit from a lack of a damping mechanism, subsidies paid to firms supplying the domestic market when fuel export prices are high. The government paid refineries some 299 billion rubles in September under the damping mechanism, official data showed. Proceeds from oil and gas sales are crucial for Russia's commodity-oriented economy. Heavy pollution-fueled smog forced authorities to close schools and markets this week in Pakistan's most populous province, including the eastern city of Lahore, which has risen to one of the world's worst cities for hazardous air quality. Schools, offices, restaurants, and businesses, aside from priority services like pharmacies, hospitals, and courts, were all closed to limit residents' movement outside, according to a directive from the provincial government. In provincial capital of Lahore, air quality was the worst in the world on Wednesday, according to Swiss group IQ Air, with the air quality index at a hazardous 432, followed by India's capital Delhi at 302 and the southern Pakistani port city of Karachi at 204. Rising air pollution can cut life expectancy by more than 5 years per person in South Asia, one of the world's most polluted regions, according to a report published in August, with flagged the growing burden of hazardous air on health. In neighboring India, authorities in Delhi have announced they would restrict use of vehicles next week to curb rising pollution, as air quality in the capital remained dangerously unsafe despite mitigation efforts. Please stay tuned now for a recap of tonight's headlines. President Al-Sisi participates at Saudi Arabia-Africa Summit. Seminar on curbing diseases transmitted from animals to human. Russia's October oil and gas revenue set for big jump. Pollution forces citywide closure of businesses and schools in Pakistan. That was our news. Please stay tuned now for our closing of tonight's